Running out of home time.
Otherwise, we'll turn off now. Do I have a PSIR? Huh?
Does it fail to appear for?
Jennifer, may I approach it? You have a
Yes.
prosecutor. Sorry, I was just.
Yes. So where is,
Do you have?
thank you. How much is this? I don't think I do.
Yeah.
You have a copy of this?
I do. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Lou. All right, this is docket 254868FH. 254866FH. 22227FH. 22226FH. People of the state of Michigan versus Michael Jamal Amory. Counsel, your appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. APA Barb Buxton on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Amory, who is standing to my right.
Thank you, sir. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You put your hand down. Have you taken any medication yesterday or today?
I
don't want to know what you've taken.
Yes.
I want to know if you've taken
Yes.
anything. Is it anything that would affect your ability to understand the court or your attorney?
No.
Is there medication you're supposed to be on that you're not on?
No.
Any sign of fever, COVID, or other illness?
No.
And have you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Goodrich in regard to today's hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so, sir, I have a failure to report to probation for a pre-sentence investigation, the PSIR as we call it. And it looks like I signed a bench warrant on January 14th that said that you should be held in contempt for failure to appear.
Your Honor, that's-
Did we already deal with
That's
this?
an old matter that's been dealt
Okay,
with.
I'm looking for, did we do a bench warrant? Is that how he got arrested? For a failure to show on this, because I do have a standing bench warrant, I just don't happen to have it in my file.
I don't know if it was.
I got arrested from probation. They messed up and did a global deal and they put a warrant, sent U.S. Marshals after me. And that's the
Let's
reason.
not get too much into that.
That's
Your
why I
Honor,
did. That's why.
he did have a warrant out of 55th,
Okay,
which I believe was what he was really taken into custody on March 20th.
okay, so now we are supposed to be here for sentencing. And sir, I can't proceed to sentencing because you failed to comply with the pre-sentence investigation report. So that's why you've been brought before the court. And it looks like March 10th, probation attempted to contact you to schedule it. And you did contact them and it was scheduled for March 18th. And then you failed to report to the probation office for that interview. And then they tried to call you, but there was no answer and they could not leave a voicemail. Then on March 19th, the agent searched Vineland to see if you were in custody. And there was no record of you being in custody. On April 1st, prior to completing the pre-sentence investigation report, again, they searched the jail roster and did find that you were taken into custody March 20th and you were held at the Ingham County Jail. So we can't proceed to sentencing. So what we're going to do, sir, on this file is I'm going to give you a new date for sentencing, and you're going to sit in jail on these files until this until sentencing.
Sentencing?
Yeah, until sentencing. You want to get out, then this pre-sentence investigation report has to be done, and your attorney can certainly file a motion. He knows how to do all of that. Sir, I can't proceed, and you have made quadruple work for probation.
The reason I didn't go in is because they put a warrant for me when
I don't care the reason, then
I know.
if there's a
they were
warrant,
gonna take me to jail. My son had 3 games in basketball if I didn't want to miss his last 3 games in high school. That's the only reason I didn't go.
what day was the game?
They had 3, he's a
What day?
senior.
What day?
I don't know it exact because I didn't think it was, but that's the reason I didn't go to because I had a warrant. I didn't want to miss his last games.
Sir?
I would have missed his last games in his whole career.
Sir, I understand that. I have an athletic couple of kids that I have to miss games because of these, because I'm here. I get it. I hate to miss games too, but you have an obligation to this community, and all you had to do was on this, show up the 18th, show up the 19th, call, do something. You didn't do it. We've been chasing you, sir.
I called her, and then before I came in, I found out I looked and I had a warrant, so that's why I was scared to come in because I didn't want to miss the games. But I have probation, so I have no reason to run from you guys, and now I don't have a reason to run from it. And I have to get surgery on this. It's not an excuse, but
What's this? Is this an emergency surgery?
yeah, I got my hand smashed right before I got in here.
And Your Honor, just to give the court a little bit of information, what's going on in Mason is he has been sentenced there on a matter where he's going to remain in jail until April 18th, I believe it is.
Great.
So we just wanted to ask the court to consider reinstating bond after his report, after his interview has been done. And hopefully that would be within the next 10 days.
How about this, sir? After the pre-sentence investigation report, I will release you. I'll reinstate bond. However, if you fail to show up for sentencing, not only will you go to treatment as per the agreement, but you will spend a year in jail. You'll get a double whammy. Do not do this to me again. Here's the problem. It's really not to me. It's disrespectful to your community because we're spending a lot of money chasing after you. And we didn't create these files, you did. So let's get a handle on it. You want to see your kids? Then follow the law, be the example that you can make a mistake and you can overcome it.
All right.
Because you're not being a dad incarcerated and your kids know you're in jail, right?
Yes, now he does.
Well, yeah, how proud of that is he? Well, then straighten up, sir, because otherwise, here's what's gonna happen. You just get a mini-me outfit because I see generations. I had a father twice in the last couple of years. I had a father and son who hadn't seen each other in a decade. Where did they see each other? In my lockup. If you want that to be you and your son, then you keep this behavior. If you want him to stay on the right path, be the athlete and all that he can be, the goodness he was born to, then you pave the way. Because otherwise kids want to be what their parents are. He's not going to care if he breaks the law because you didn't care. You understand that? There's a whole mindset there, especially of the teenagers today.
Yes, ma'am.
So be the example, not the problem.
Yes, ma'am.
On behalf of the people, is that acceptable?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Great.
We do need a sentencing date though.
Yeah.
First date I have is June.
Fine.
Okay, June 17th at 9:30.
They'll come see you and then you can, you'll be released after that. You better be here June 17th at 9:30. When's graduation?
Before that,
Great, so you won't miss anything. No excuse to not be here.
do you think I'll be able to make it for sure?
Things
Graduation.
go well.
Alright.
It's up to you, sir. If you don't behave, if you violate the law, if you violate bond conditions, if you violate, you won't be, because no one's gonna let you out. It's all up to you, sir. I know that Mr. Goodrich knows exactly what to tell you, so talk to him. Can we give him a new notice of the date? Thank you. As soon as that's done, your bond will be reinstated, you'll be home.
Okay, thank you.
All for this record.
Okay, thank you, Anna.
Did you know Robin's next?
Alright.
How's it going? Good, it's been a while.
You hiding from us?
Just haven't had the luck of the draw, I guess. so.
That's horrible. I know, it works that way sometimes.
It does.
You only get me in this.
And then it's like, I haven't been here in a while. so-
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
You've talked to your client?
I have not.
You're not?
I've not had any recent contact, and I've called the hallway. She's
So she's not here?
not based on my knowledge, unless she's on Zoom somewhere.
All right. This is docket 25-1611 FH, people of the state of Michigan versus Janelle Robbins. Counsel, your appearance for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. APA Bart Buxton, on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joseph Yang on behalf of Ms. Robbins. She's not currently present.
Bench warrant. Bond forfeiture. We waited, this was set at 9, it's almost 10 o'clock, and I literally have nothing, no updates in the file. I have two different addresses. I have a Holt Road address and a Jolly Road address. Counsel, you haven't heard from her in quite a while to prepare.
That is
And
correct.
this is a final pretrial, and this is, she's facing a 15-year felony for home invasion second and possession of meth, a 10-year felony. And the problem that I see is if she, understanding that her rights are intact, but understanding if there's drugs involved, she may be high somewhere, we need to save her life. So she will be arrested and maintained in the jail till we figure it all out. So you can pass that message on when you see her.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, it's all for the record.
Thank you.
We're gonna do Dwayne Williams next.
I believe he's on Zoom.
That was set at 10 o'clock.
All right.
Dwayne Williams.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Camera. All right,
Disappeared.
yeah, he did, but. Oh, maybe he'll come
Now
back.
he comes out
He's
here.
coming back,
Here we
but
go.
you gotta let him. All right, this is docket 25-4062 FH, people of the state of Michigan versus Dwayne Deshaun Williams. Counsel, your appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. APA Bart Buxton on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan.
Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Williams, who's appearing over Zoom from Memphis, Tennessee, Your Honor.
All right, sir, please raise your right hand. I need you to put your volume on. Did you put your volume on? All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
very good. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Put your hand down. Have you taken any medication yesterday or today?
No, ma'am.
Any alcohol, any substance at all?
No, ma'am.
Is there medication you're supposed to be on that you're not on?
No, ma'am.
Any sign of fever, COVID, or other illness?
No, ma'am.
Have you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Goodrich?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you read the pre-sentence investigation report?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. On behalf of the people, is there any addition, correction, deletion?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodrich?
Yes, a few things to the body of the report, Your Honor.
Okay.
On the cover page where it says where employed,
Yes.
he has actually started a job at Taco Bell this morning.
Okay. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
He's on a quick break from there.
Okay, well, we'll get you done here quick. So I'm going to, all right, so I do see under employment, page 11, start date, so we're gonna put that as 8 April 26, and end date is current. And sir, what's your position there?
I'm a cook.
Cook? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And do we have a rate of pay?
I believe it's $13.50.
Okay. And I've completed that section. And Mr. Goodrich,
Okay, also on the cover page where it says alcohol, like where he began, when he began his first use, that
Yes.
should be 2021. And we don't know the exact date, but the
okay.
year is 2021.
And then did he stop? Is it current? What?
I believe it is current.
Is it an abuse situation or just a use situation?
It's a use situation. There are some conflicting statements in the
Yeah.
report where he said, I think, just to clarify that a little bit beforehand, he said, well, I'm not a drinker. When he says I'm not a drinker, that means I'm not an alcoholic. I think
Okay.
drinking on a regular basis, he is a person who drinks a few beers here and there.
Okay, so I put in parentheses, use, not abuse. They should clarify that. Doesn't make sense otherwise. And what about the marijuana? Are you using marijuana, sir?
No, ma'am, not at the moment.
So, do
Not
you
since-
occasionally, not since when?
Not since August.
So so I'm just gonna put till August 2025. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So let me look in the back then. We need to correct that. Yes. So under alcohol, I changed the date, and that's on page 12 to 2021, and also put frequency occasional. Okay.
Okay, that is all the changes that we have to the, oh, I'm sorry, there was one more change. Under his schooling section, it's,
I have 1 year of college.
under the education section, that is true, but, under the education section, it shows that he went to Hamilton High School, that he completed the 9th grade. He informed me that he completed the 10th grade.
Okay. I made that correction. Yeah, it's correct in the, well, below it says defendant stated he was removed from high school while in the 10th grade.
He finished the 10th grade, I think, in an online type of, or
Okay, so-
alternative program.
I'm going to put and finished it after 10th grade, comma, and getting rid of the comma and putting and finished it in an online program. Making the highest level completed 10th grade instead of 9th. Is that acceptable?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then he did get his.
Correct. It's in the income.
Yeah. All right, great.
Okay, Your Honor, that is all the changes we have to the body. We do have one change to the scoring.
Have you two stipulated or no?
We have, Your Honor.
What is it?
PRB 2 should be scored at 0 points instead of 5.
Change has been made.
That lowers the total PRB to 35, but that does not change the level.
Okay, let me make that change in the basic information sheet. And that's the extent of the changes on the guidelines?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Do we have a victim who wishes to address the court?
We do not, Your Honor.
On behalf of the people, what would you like me to know?
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask that you follow the recommendation. This is a very unusual situation where Mr. Williams essentially attacked someone that was just attempting to conduct services on his home. It's a very unusual situation, and I believe the recommendation by probation is appropriate given this situation. Thank you.
Counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I would ask the court to simply place Mr. Williams on a term of probation without upfront jail in this matter. I think that the situation, a fuller understanding of what occurred was a disagreement over repair where things got escalated. My client admittedly knows he made a mistake when he picked up a knife to threaten the guy, and then things got out of hand. Both guys ended up getting injured out of the situation. And I think he certainly has learned, that escalating an argument can lead to places that you didn't intend it to go. And I think that's what happened here. We see when we look at his criminal history that this is not a person with an extensive criminal history. He has a few theft offenses, 2 misdemeanors, and he had 1 felony case, that was 14 years ago at this point, Your Honor. He's gotten housing now that he's living with his aunt in Memphis. He sees his mother on a regular basis, so he has family support. He had a really hard time with that in Lansing. He now has recently gotten a job with Taco Bell, so he seems to be making positive strides in his life. He did contact probation in Memphis about starting some of the classes. They told him that, well, we need to wait and get the paperwork from Michigan before we can have you start that. So he hasn't started those yet, but he did look into that and has made attempts. I think he's a person who's very likely to succeed on probation. So I would ask the court to sentence him to a term of probation without any jail time up front, Your Honor. If he doesn't comply with the court's orders, the court can always give him time later.
Sir, what would you like me to know, and what have you learned from all this?
I basically learned that I need to stop and take a second before I make a decision, because every decision is not a good one. Instead of me, I don't know, taking the time and calling the cops or resolving that issue without any violence or any other type of actions, I didn't, and I proceeded to do what was wrong. And so basically, I've learned that I should stop and take a breath and think about the things I do before I do them.
All right. Well, it sounds like you've been doing the work to get your life together. So here's what I'm going to do. But make no mistake, I can do much, much worse if you decide to take matters in your own hands, if you decide to not comply. So I'm going to give you a break. I'm going to put you on 6 months probation, but that means during the 6 months, you got to get a lot of work done. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you shall not use, possess, consume, purchase, or be in the presence of alcohol, illegal drugs, or drug paraphernalia. If you have the need for any of those things, you'll present a prescription to a licensed medical physician within 24 hours.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you are prescribed any medication, psychotropic or otherwise, you will take it as prescribed. And over-the-counter medication you can take as labeled on the bottle. You can take less but not more. You are going to complete a cognitive behavioral class, so you learn to make better decisions and also anger management. So those two can be in the same class. They usually are. All right. So you need to, as you said, learn to count or walk away, think. And so cognitive behavioral, everybody would benefit from. It sounds like you need a bit of the anger management thinking as well to make sure that you have the tools to walk away. It's not always easy to walk away. So that would be my goal.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Dylan Jones, either directly or through another person, and you will not be within 1,000 feet of his residence, school, or place of employment. You'll not engage in any assaultive, abusive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. You will not have verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with anyone housed in Michigan Department of Corrections or who is on probation or parole. Now, you might work with somebody who's on probation or parole, I don't know. If you learn, you don't have to ask everybody you're with, but if you learn that they're on probation or parole, just give the information to probation, and then as long as everybody's in good standing, that can continue. All right, does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you'll contact probation within 24 hours, and you have to contact probation here. So that number, and Mr. Goodrich can certainly give it to you. I don't know if you have a pen, but it's 517-483-6100.
Okay.
So make and keep an appointment, because this can be transferred to Tennessee. You're in Tennessee, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, one of my favorite states. So Tennessee won't take you until our county says it's okay, and then they'll pass on the information, and then when Tennessee's informed, you'll get other instructions about how to check in with them.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So you'll check in at least monthly so they can help you get your programming, and we can verify that you're doing what you need to do. You'll comply with all written and verbal orders of probation and all treatment providers, and those become orders of this court. You'll allow probation into your residence at any time for probation supervision without a warrant, and submit to a search of your vehicle, residence, computer, and cell phone. If there's reasonable cause to believe you have items that might violate the conditions of your probation. You must report any arrest, police contact, personal protection order placed on you, loss of employment, change of residence to probation within 24 hours, and weekends and holidays are accepted. So if something happens on a Friday, tell us on Monday, if Monday's a holiday, tell us on Tuesday. You will serve 365 days jail credit for 3 days served. The balance of the jail is held. During probation, you can use any or all of those days. If things go well, you won't use any of them. It's solely up to you, sir. Probation. Yeah, probation is not required. It's for your benefit. If you do not avail yourself of probation, the jail awaits, and we will pick you up if necessary, and then you'll pay for that transportation. So let's make sure things go well.
Yes, ma'am.
It does not appear that there's any restitution that's due. Is that correct?
That is not being requested at this time, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You'll pay a crime victims assessment, the amount of $130. And you will pay a $68 state cost. I am waiving fines, costs, attorney fees, and probation oversight at $13 an hour. You can't afford it. You're just getting on your feet. So I'm giving you a break there too. So the total that you will owe is $198. However, I'm going to give you time to pay that. We're not going to, as long as things are going well, we're not going to hold probation over for that money.
Okay.
Okay, doesn't
Yes,
mean you
ma'am.
don't, oh, so I don't care if you pay $2 a week, return pop bottles and get it paid. I don't care how you get it paid, but as long as it's legal.
Yes, ma'am.
But take your time. It's gonna take you a while, I'm sure, to pay that off. So and the state will get it one way or the other. So as I said, this will be transferred to Tennessee under the interstate compact, but they can't accept you until you meet with our probation, and they certainly can do that on the telephone or Zoom, all right?
Okay.
You'll not use any object as a weapon, no guns, no ammunition, no imitation of a weapon. You'll not be in the presence of anyone who has those items. And so if you end up going to a friend's house, they have weapons, they have alcohol, marijuana, or whatever, you just do it about face and you leave, because they may not get in trouble, but you will get in trouble.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
people think all the time, who's gonna know? Well, there's a lot of people that'll report you. So we have eyes and ears everywhere. So just comply and this will be over before you know it, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you will not use marijuana unless you have a prescription, and then you'll only use it as prescribed. You have 42 days to appeal and to request appellate counsel. Mr. Goodrich, if you could get that those appellate rights to him, or did you give it to him ahead of time
Your Honor, we will mail him before.
with the proof of service here?
Yes.
All right. Is there anything I missed?
Just for clarification, I think I missed it. How long is probation?
I'm just giving him 6 months.
Okay, thank you.
And we can always extend that, but I think this doesn't warrant 2 years. It's a waste of resources. All right, do you understand? Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, 517-483-6100. Call and make that appointment. If you have any difficulty doing that, call Mr. Goodrich and he'll help you out, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
All right,
Your
thank
Honor.
you so much.
Next, who else is ready?
Just one minute, Your Honor, we move forward on Wilson.
Mr. White, who are you here?
And here I agree with, and I'm gonna have a quick discussion. with Art, and We'll be ready.
Okay. Wilson. So we're gonna do Wilson and then looks like Greenwood.
Most likely, yes, Your Honor.
Good jam. Of course. Oh, no.
This is next. On the file.
That's what he said. Just-
All right, this is docket 23-266 FH, people in the state of Michigan versus Duran Maurice Wilson. Counsel, your appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. APA Bart Watson on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan.
Good morning, Your Honor. Melissa Patrick on behalf of Devon Maurice Wilson, who is appearing via Zoom.
All right, is he in the hearing room?
He's
All right, we
He's
need
on
him
Zoom,
to, we need someone to unmute him.
Mr. Wilson, can you have somebody unmute you?
Nobody in here, but.
Okay, we got you now, sir. All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, you can put your hand down. Have you taken any medication yesterday or today?
Yes, last night.
Okay, what is all that noise? All right, so you took medication last night?
Yes, I take seizure medication.
Okay. What is going on? What is that noise?
Somebody in the room with him or.
Is there someone in the room with you?
I don't think so.
Okay,
It seems like just
There's some kind of echo going on.
echo, like a.
It's door in here. I hear by so I hear people talking behind me.
right. We can't have that because I can't hardly understand you and we need to make a record. It's not your fault, sir. It's whoever's talking in back of you. Yeah. I think they see you, they looked back. All right, hopefully they stop talking. Thank you for that. So sir, you took some medication. Is it anything that would interfere with your ability to understand the court or your attorney?
No, just seizure medication.
Okay, are you doing okay today, sir?
Yeah, yes,
Okay, and have you had enough time to talk with your attorney?
yes.
All right, I understand there's going to be a plea today, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, are you a US citizen?
Yes.
And with what you're pleading to, were you on probation, parole, or bond conditions before another judge?
No.
Okay,
I was on parole.
you were on parole?
Yes.
Okay, so have they done anything to you in regard to this file, or do you understand that they may take action as a result of the plea?
Yes. Give me time.
Okay, very good. Ms. Patrick, you would agree with that? They've already handled it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good, thank you. On behalf of the people, what is the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, the defendant will be pleading to an added count 5 and added count 6, both of attempted assault strangulation. He will be pleading no contest of both of those counts. After successful plea and sentencing, counts 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the habitual offender status will be dismissed. And then pursuant to the plea agreement, Your Honor, there is a killabrew to no upfront jail at the time of sentencing.
And is the reason for no contest civil liability?
No, the reason is, Mr. Wilson has had 2 strokes since he's been in prison. He has a very limited memory.
Okay. That certainly is a good reason, along with civil liability given the circumstance, so.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Is that full, fair, accurate, and complete?
It is, Your Honor.
Sir, did you understand the plea agreement? Is it full, fair, accurate, and complete?
Said me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And counsel, you're waiving reading counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and habitual third?
Yes, Your Honor.
As to reading of the felony information as to the added counts 5 and 6.
Yes, Your Honor, and there will be amended information that will be submitted.
Thank you.
People of the state of Michigan versus Duran Maurice Wilson. State of Michigan, County of Ingham, in the name of the people of the state of Michigan, the prosecuting attorney for this county appears before the court and informs the court that on November 20th of 2022, at 1564 North Aurelius Road, number 5, the defendant in added count 5 attempted assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation. The defendant did attempt to commit the following listed offense, and in the attempt did act towards the commission of that offense, but failed in the perpetration or is prevented in the execution thereof, contrary to MCL 750.92. Assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation. Under MCL 750.84. Did make an assault upon Madison Marie Rodriguez by strangulation or suffocation, contrary to statute. As a this would normally be a maximum of 10 years and $5,000. However, as this is an attempt, this is a 5-year felony. Court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profile sample. Consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. And then the added count 6, attempt assault to do great bodily, with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation. Did attempt to commit the following listed offense, and in the attempt did act towards the commission of the offense, but failed in the perpetration or is prevented in the execution thereof, contrary to MCL 750.92. That being assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation, under MCL 750.84. That being, did make an assault upon Madison Marie Rodriguez by strangulation or suffocation, contrary to statute. This would typically be a maximum felony of 10 years. However, as this is an attempt, the maximum on this would be 5 years. The court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profile sample. Consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. And it gets a dignity of the state of Michigan.
Sir, did you understand what was just read?
Yes.
So you have counts 5 and 6, which are identical. Attempted assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation, punishable by 5 years or $2,500, and restitution to the victim for any personal or property damage or injury. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And as to the advice of rights, you've gone over those rights with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And you gave her permission to sign the advice of rights form on your behalf, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about your rights of your attorney or myself?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Sir, as to count 5, attempted assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation, how do you plead?
Plead no contest.
And as to count 6, attempted assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation, how do you plead?
No contest.
Thank you, and that's based on your limited memory due to some medical issues with the stroke, and it sounds like you also have seizures, so the court finds that's good reason to accept no contest plea. But sir, do you understand that you are giving up the presumption of innocence, the ability to cross-examine witnesses and evidence, the ability to choose to provide defense, the ability to remain silent, not have that used against you. Additionally, if you had a bench trial or jury trial, you would be entitled to an automatic appeal if you weren't happy, but now it becomes the decision of the Court of Appeals if you want to appeal whether or not they accept your case. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, if you were somehow forced or coerced into pleading, you need to tell me that now. Because if you come back later and say you shouldn't have pled, I don't have to accept that. So my question to you is, have you pled freely and voluntarily of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did that after speaking with your attorney, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're satisfied with the representation of your attorney, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, other than the plea agreement, has anyone told you what I will do at sentencing?
No, nobody knows what to do.
All right, right, and that's true, I won't make up my mind until sentencing. So if I were to violate the agreement of no further upfront jail, then I would allow you to withdraw the plea, and this matter would again go to the pretrial stage. However, if you violate the law between now and sentencing, I don't have to honor that agreement, and I could sentence you to some more jail or prison time, and then you would not be able to withdraw your plea. Do you understand how that works?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. Do I have a police report?
Commissioner Belcher?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. By stipulation of counsel, defense counsel has handed me the Ingham County Sheriff's Office, police report. And the reporting officer was Jeremy Doherty, OERR, and the information contained reflects that Madison Rodriguez reported the father of her children, Duran Wilson, strangled her 2 times during the course of an argument over their children. She reported losing consciousness the first time, and she was seen at Sparrow Hospital due to the effects of the assault. This occurred on November 20th, 2022, between the hours of 7:45 hours and 8:15 hours. And it was in the township of Delhi, County of Indian State of Michigan, at a specific location known as 1564 North Aurelius Road, Unit 5. The officers responded, and after introducing themselves to Madison at the hospital, she told them she was really nervous and that Duran had a history of domestic violence with her, and she identified Duran Wilson as her assaulter. She said that they were in a verbal argument on the evening of November 19th, 2022, but the argument was not physical. And in the morning, that was in the evening, in the morning, in the early hours, she asked Duran if the two could speak about the argument the night before, and while talking to him, she indicates he became very angry and started to scream and yell at her, telling her she's not going to keep the kids away from. Says her, but must be him. Madison told Duran to leave. She said that is what set him off, and that he refused to leave, telling her he's going to remain wherever his kids are. And she continued to tell Duran to leave, and he continued to refuse. She then said he told her that he was going to beat her up. In an attempt to establish boundaries with Duran, Madison told him that she would not be assaulted again by him. She walked around him into the living room where he kept getting in her face, and Madison asked Duran to back up, at which time he grabbed her with both hands around her neck and throat. He choked her until she blacked out, and while being strangled, she tried to fight him off, but could not do it because he was too strong. She fell face up on the couch with Duran on top of her, and she scratched at Duran's hands, attempting anything she could do to get him to stop. And when she did that, she ripped his shirt and broke his necklace. And while being strangled, Madison remembered Duran telling her that she was not going to take away his kids from him. And she started begging Duran to please stop, and he did not. Madison told Duran, I'm done, as he continued to strangle her, but he would not stop. Madison reported she felt as though Duran strangled her to the moment where she was about to be done, and Madison said when she regained consciousness, she was upstairs, but did not remember how she got there. She shut the door to her bedroom, and he entered and continued arguing with her, and then was strangled a second time upstairs in the bedroom. She did not lose consciousness during the second assault because their daughters ran into the room and he stopped. I think that's enough factual basis for both counts 5 and 6. On behalf of the people, do you agree, or would you like additional information added?
The people are satisfied, Your Honor.
Council also agree?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Are council aware of promises, threats, or inducements other than those already placed on the record?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
This court will have a court rule.
You have, Your Honor.
You have.
I find defendants no contest plea to be appropriately made, and I also find that the no contest plea has been freely, voluntarily, knowingly, and understandingly made without undue influence, threats, coercion, or promises of leniency. I also find there are sufficient grounds to accept defendant's plea. Therefore, 5 and 6 are entered. Counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and the habitual third in its entirety are dismissed. Any outstanding ones, if any, related to this file are hereby recalled and dismissed. Any weapons, if there were any, that doesn't seem to be that there were any, nobody forfeited. Do we have a sentencing date?
June 17th at 10 a.m.
Sir, yes.
I was just gonna ask, Mr. Wilson has been lodged since 2022, I believe it is on this, and he just asked me to request the soonest sentencing date that he could possibly.
Is it? So tell me, is he in the Ingham County Jail?
No, he's in Egler
Okay.
Correctional Facility in Jackson.
Okay, so he's gonna remain there until sentencing or what?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And for clarification, Your Honor, because he does have a right to be here for sentencing,
Yeah.
does he wish to be here for sentencing, or does he want to be via Zoom again?
I was just gonna ask, yeah. Sir, would you like to be brought here, or would you like to, do this on Zoom? You have a right to stand next to your attorney.
That's for me.
Yeah, I can't understand you, there's background noise, I don't know what's going on. Would you like to be brought here, or do this on Zoom?
I would like what the judge want me to do.
It's up to you, sir. We can do sentencing on Zoom if you prefer, or we can have you brought here so you're next to your attorney, whatever you prefer.
I have problems with being brought to court before.
Okay.
I'd rather do video, please.
Okay, we'll do Zoom, and just in case there is still bond that is revoked, so all this time, well, technically doesn't count, but it'll count in other ways.
Right.
All right, so, sir, we'll see you June 17th at 10 a.m., all right? If for some reason we can get you an earlier date and the PSIR is done, we'll try to do that. We'll let Ms. Patrick know, but we'll see you in June, all right? You'll need to cooperate with probation. They're going to do a detailed pre-sentence investigation report, and you'll need to talk about that with Ms. Patrick before you appear in front of me, and then we'll get all this handled, okay?
Yes, right.
All right, thank you.
What was the time on that again? I'm sorry.
That is 10 a.m.
Thank you.
June 17th at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. See you then.
We're gonna do Lindsay Fowler next.
This is docket 24-106.
I'm not ready.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was at 9 o'clock.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, this is docket 24. 1006 FH, people of the state of Michigan versus Lindsay Marie Fowler. Counsel, your appearance for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. APA Bart Bucks on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan.
Good morning, Brian Jackson, on behalf of Ms. Fowler, who is present in the courtroom.
Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you. Put your hand down. Have you taken any medication yesterday or today? I don't need to know what you've taken, just if you've taken it.
Yes.
Is it anything that would interfere in your ability to understand your attorney or the court?
No.
Is there medication you're supposed to be on that you're not on?
No.
Any sign of fever, COVID, or other illness?
No.
Have you had enough time to speak to Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
All right, very good. This is a final criminal pretrial conference, ma'am. I do these so that we move cases along and so that there's a finality as to the time in which you can decide what you want to do, because if you decide on the day of trial, then you are deprived of someone else's trial date. So that's why we do this. Mr. Jackson, how are we proceeding?
Thank you. We spoke about the people's plea offer, which is to count 2 with no upfront jail and a restitution hearing if necessary, and Ms. Fowler has rejected that.
Yes.
All right, is that the entirety of the offer?
That is the entirety of the offer, Your Honor. Count 2 and no upfront jail. I will say the sentencing guidelines, if Ms. Fowler were to go to trial, I have them at either 0 to 9 or 0 to 11. With this plea offer, it would be 0 to 3 or 0 to 6, but obviously it'd be killer to no upfront jail.
Ma'am, what you've heard is full, fair, accurate, and complete,
Yes.
and you've had enough time to speak with Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
You've gone over all the options?
Yes.
And it's your desire to go to trial
Yes.
and not avail yourself of the offer, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, do we have a trial date?
Yes, it is May 22nd, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, did anyone force, threaten, or coerce you to make this decision?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything that caused you to make this decision?
No.
You made this decision after talking about all your options with Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
And you've made this of your own free will,
Yes.
and you've been satisfied with the representation of Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
All right, court is satisfied. We'll see you at trial May 22nd. I don't know where you are on the list, so you may very well be 3rd or 4th, but you'll be moved up to 1st really quickly, so stay in contact with your attorney. Bond conditions are continued. If for some reason I'm doing a different trial, you'll be moved to the next available date. So plan on the 22nd, but we'll keep you informed, and Mr. Jackson's here all the time, so he'll know what's going on. Okay. Anything else we can assist you with, counsel?
No, thank you.
Bond conditions are continued. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. For Judge Stokes, Haralana. I've got to talk to the attorney.
Oh, okay.
So you're your interpreter sheet. What did you do? Right.
It was a 9:30, but I.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll sign this over. Is this a bench review? Is that what we're doing? Mr. Goodrich?
Yes, Your Honor, on 3 files.
Okay. This is docket 24648 FH.
Do you need,
24759 FH. 255994 People of the State of Michigan versus Paramana Rangwa. Council, your appearances?
Good morning, Your Honor. Elena Cisneros on behalf of the people.
Yeah, and I believe we need to get the translators
I'm
sworn in.
gonna
because
do that right now. As soon as, I just want to make
Okay.
a record so that we're on the case.
Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Herrera Mata.
Thank you.
njyewe ndi hano ni njyewe urimo ni njye uguhagarariye.
And sir, as the interpreter, could you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide and the translation you're about to translate will be translated from English to what's the language?
Kinyarwanda.
Okay, Kinyarwanda, and from that to English to the best of your ability.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me put your hand down. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
Bahati Biazaboy. Ahati, my first name. And my last name Biazaboy, Irere.
Thank you. Sir, please raise your right hand.
Zamura akaboko kawe.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth and the penalty of perjury?
Urarahira yuko ibyo ugiye kuvuga ni ukuri nta binyoma birimo? Yes.
Let me put your hand down.
Wagushira hasi.
Have you taken any medication yesterday or today?
Ese hari imiti waba wafashe uyu munsi cyangwa ejo? No, I know.
Are you supposed to be on medication you're not on?
Ese hari ubwo waba wemerewe gufata imiti uyu munsi cyangwa ejo? No.
Any sign of fever, COVID, or other illness?
Ese hari ibimenyetso waba ufite byo kuba urwaye umutwe, umuriro? No.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney?
Ese wagize umwanya uhagije wo kuvugana n'umuntu uguhagarariye? Yes.
Sir, I'm not your regular judge. Judge Stokes is.
Ndakubwira ko ntabwo ari njye uyu munsi wakagombye kuba uri kumwe nawe.
But she had a conflict this morning, so I'm handling your arraignment on the bench warrant.
Yagize inama uwari uri kumwe nawe uyu munsi niyo mpamvu ndi kumwe nawe.
It appears that you had a pretrial on November 19th, 2025 at 9 a.m.
Bigaragara ko mu kwezi kwa 11 wari ufite kubura buboneke hano tariki 19.
And you failed to appear for that.
Ntabwo wabonetse icyo gihe.
Mr. Goodrich, is that your understanding of why we're here?
Turagira impamvu utari uri hano?
Your Honor, that applies to files 24-648-FH and to file 24-759-FH.
Thank you.
However, there is also another pretrial that was missed on March
24th, I see that. now.
Yes,
Thank you.
on the 25 file.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. So, sir, you also failed to appear for pretrial on March 24th, 2026 at 1 p.m. on the 25-5994 FH file.
Ikindi hari indi utabonetseho mu kwa gatatu tariki 24, 2026 saa 7 nabwo ntiwabonetse.
Counsel, are you waiting for the arraignment?
Ese hari ubwo wabikozeho?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Yego.
And that would be on all files?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ese biri muri gahunda byose? Yes. Yego.
How are we proceeding?
Ni gute ubitekereza?
With the plea or hearing?
Your Honor, he will plead to missing those court dates, Your Honor, plead guilty to missing those court dates. And then we would be requesting that the matter be set for a pretrial conference on all 3 files. I believe we have a hearing date already.
Nyiricyubahiro turemera yuko atabonetse icyo gihe.
Is that correct, sir? You're pleading?
Ese nibyo Harimana?
Yes.
Yes.
As to failure to appear on 24,648 FH and 24,759 FH for pretrial on November 19th, 2025 at 9 AM. How do you plead?
Igihe utabonetse mu kwa 11 tariki 19 saa 3 za mu gitondo, ese wari uri hehe, byagenze gute? Which year?
Which year? 2025, November 19th, 2025, you failed to appear before the court for a pretrial on these two files.
2025 ntabwo wigeze uboneka mu kwa 11 saa 3, wari ufite kuza ariko ntiwabonetse, yari iyihe mpamvu?
icyo gihe ndabyibuka ko babimbwiye muri roya wanjye yabimbwiye, ntabwo sinzi, ntabwo nigeze mbona file na email mayitega.
I remember when they told me this, they told me it was face to face, so they didn't call me or make me be ready for that day.
Mr. Herrera-Mana, you do need to admit to the court that you were not there, and then after that, we will explain why you weren't there.
Ufite kumubwira yuko utari uhari kandi kubyemera ko utari uhari, none turaza kumubwira impamvu utari uhari.
Did you fail to appear November 19th, 2025 at 9 AM on both these files?
Ese uremera ko utabonetse iki gihe bari kukubwira?
Yeah.
So you are guilty of failure to appear, is that correct?
Nuvuga ngo nukuri urabyemera ko utabonetse icyo gihe? Yes.
And moving on to the 25,5994 FH file, did you also fail to appear for pretrial on March 24th, 2026 at 1 PM?
Ikindi uremera yuko utigeze uboneka mu kwa gatatu tariki 24, 2026 saa 7 z'amanywa.
So you are guilty on that file as well, failing to appear.
N'icyo gihe nacyo uracyemera ko utari uhari? Yes.
All right, I find by preponderance of the evidence, his own admission plus what's contained in the file and the research that was done, that there was a failure to appear, so he's guilty of contempt of court on all three files.
Ibyo ndaza kubyemeza ko wemeye yuko utabonetse izo tariki zose tukubwiye, none tuze kureba ikindi gikurikira. Yes.
On behalf of the people, we're going to go into sentencing. What is your recommendation and where are we in this?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just a moment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Tugiye kwemeza twese hano uko turi hano, twemeze icyemezo tugiye gufatira, noneho turebe icyo twabikoraho. Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's the people, and I believe Mr. Goodrich as well, would request the court set these for pre-trial. We have not had a pre-trial conference on all three since the most recent one was found over to circuit court. As it relates to bond in the interim, I would ask the court to set some sort of interim bond. Mr. Herrera-Mana, in my experience, does not appear before the court.
Twavuga yuko twebwe ntabwo twigeze twicara ngo dukore inama y'ukuntu twabikora, ariko turavuga ko Harerimana afite guhanirwa yuko atigeze aboneka kuri uwo munsi cyangwa kuri iyo minsi yombi.
On his own account, he generally does not appear on his own account, so I would ask the court to set some sort of interim bond, of course, to be readdressed next time we're in court. Otherwise, I would ask the court to order a GPS teller.
Ngewe ku giti cyanjye kubera ko Harerimana ntabwo yigeze aboneka kuri iyi minsi kandi ntabwo yigeze atumenyesha, ahubwo ngewe ndaza gusaba ko bamuhereza icyuma cyo kukagura.
Mr. Goodrich?
Your Honor, I would ask that the court sentence Mr. Herrera-Mana to 14 days in jail with credit for 14 days for these violation of missing the court.
Ndaza gusaba ko mwamhereza nk'iminsi 14 mu jail ko atigeze yubahiriza iyi minsi.
He has had a difficult time keeping track of court dates due to his homelessness and having to use the phone of a family member.
Nagize ibibazo byo kuba atabona ukuntu yakoresha telefone bitewe n'aho yari ari n'abantu yari kumwe batamwemereye, haza kuba ibyo bibazo byo kuba atabona ukuntu yavuga.
A couple months ago, I asked a social worker from my office, Beth Bingham, to assist him on working on housing and such issues.
Mu mezi ashize nagerageje kuvugana n'uwo dukorana niba yabasha kuba yamufasha aho yaba n'uburyo ki yajya abona ukuntu atuvugisha byoroshe.
Unfortunately, we've not been able to contact him and speak with him prior to yesterday.
Uko byagenze ntabwo twigeze tubona ukuntu rero tumuvugisha kugeza ejo.
But we are now working with him to find the type of stability that would allow him to have better attendance at court, Your Honor.
Ariko ubu ngubu turi kubikoraho, turi kugira ngo tubone ukuntu byakoroha mu buryo bw'uko twajya tumubona kumuvugisha bikoroha.
And I'm giving him my business card today to have a phone number to call when he's able to get out and be able to use a person's phone.
Kandi uyu munsi ngiye kumuhereza ikarita yari buze kumboneraho hariho nimero zanjye kugira ngo byorohe agize icyo akenera cyangwa uko tumushaka bikoroha.
So we would ask that the bond be reinstated at this time.
Twe turakenera ko bakoroshya ibihano.
I have him at an address on Green Lawn Avenue. That's not a homeless shelter.
Clarify that. What was the address?
322 East Green Lawn Avenue.
Bo aha mfite adresse yanjye mbona iri hano ni 322 East Green Avenue.
Your Honor, his sister lives at that address, which is where he has mail sent.
Twohereje impapuro kuri ino adresse kubera ko niho mushiki we atuye.
He does not live there.
Ntabwo ari hatuye we.
Thank you. Sir, what would you like me to know?
Ese Harerimana wakenera ko namenya iki ubu ngubu ushaka iki?
Icyo nshaka nuko mwakoroshya ibintu mukandikura nkajya kuri shata, so noneho nazamara kubona adresse ashaka na communication yo gukominikana na lawyer wanjye, noneho azajya nitaba ku rukiko anytime
I will ask if it's possible, if I could be having a chance to get out. I will go at a shelter and looking forward to work on my life stable and finding the communication, like a phone where I will be able to be communicate and not missing how I was missing again.
Your Honor, I do also want to let the court know that Mr. Harerimana does speak some English, so I can communicate over phone over simple things.
Mbo ikindi ndi kugira ngo mbamenyeshe yuko Harerimana yumvamo icyongereza gakeya kitari cyinshi, rero ntabwo byambuza kuba nabura uko navugana nawe mu buryo bworoshe apana ibintu bikomeye.
But when we get to court hearings and there's more important matters, we do want him to have a translator to get a full understanding.
Ariko bene aha ngaha twamuhamagaje ari hano, niyo mpamvu dukeneye umusobanuzi kugira ngo abe yamufasha kuko ni ibintu bikomeye yumve neza.
Is there any reason you can't live with your sister, sir?
Ese hari impamvu ihari yatuma utabana na mushiki wawe?
Impamvu kubera ko nyine ntabwo nabona nabo nta kazi mfite naki, so ubwo ntabwo nagumye kubana nabo nta kintu mbafasha, so kandi nanjye n'igihe cyanjye kirageze kuba nanjye nabasha kumenya kwifasha.
Right now, to stay with my sister, I need to have a job, which is I don't have right now. and I'm working on myself right now to get myself comfortable on financial, on getting a job. So that's a big reason why I'm not able to stay with my sister, because they can't let me to stay with them because I don't have no job and I'm helping them nothing.
When is the pretrial date that you all set?
Your Honor, it's my understanding, we have April 28th at 1 p.m. available.
Dufite itariki 28 z'ukwa kane. What was the time?
1 p.m.
Saa saba z'amanywa.
Your Honor, I also wanted to make the court aware that it appears there's also a hold for some financial reason out of Eaton County.
Ikindi ndi kugira ngo menyeshe ko hari uburyo ki adahagaze neza mu buryo bwo kwibeshaho.
All right, so I'm gonna give him 90 days contempt with credit for 14 days. And he'll be brought back over before Judge Stokes, April 28th at 1 p.m.
Bongeye kuguhereza hagati y'iminsi 90, ubwo uzongera ugaruka hano tariki 4 kuri 28 saa 7 za nimugoroba.
I'm doing this for the reason that he does not have stable housing. He doesn't have a job.
Ibi ndi kubikora kubera ko ntago afite n'abagenda ashaka akazi.
And should he be released, he should be released on a GPS tether to an address.
Ngo ikindi afite kurekurwa tukamuhereza icyuma cyo ku kaguru.
And should have documentation that he's working with the social worker and the jail and any programming in order to find that stability.
Ikindi araza guhabwa urupapuro rw'uko ari gukorana n'abantu bari kumufasha kuba atishoboye cyangwa se kuba adafite ukuntu abayeho bari kubimufasha.
We have 3 files here.
Dufite inyandiko 3.
And it includes substance abuse, malicious destruction of property, and assaulting police.
Bo dufite inyandiko 3 zivuga yuko ntago witonda ufite ubwitonzi, ikindi kuvuga nabi n'imyitwarire itari myiza ku baje kugufata, ikindi no kwangiriza inyubako wari urimo.
Therefore, I am fearful of public safety as well as defendant safety.
Ikindi ndaza kuvuga ku bijyanye no kuba waba utabangamira abandi.
And the complicating factor is there's no job, no stable place to live. There's 3 files, 2 failures to appear, and apparently another county wants him as well.
Ikindi kuba ntago ufite akazi, ntufite aho kuba, ntago ufite ubuzima buhagaze neza.
So I leave it to Judge Stokes to see what the outcome is afterward, but right now I am not releasing him because it's not warranted.
Kubera ko ubu ngubu ngiye kurekera iyi nani yawe ku wundi muntu mwari kubonana uyu munsi atahabonetse. Ikindi ntago ndi bukurekura ubu ngubu kuko ntago ukenewe.
Is there anything else I need to address?
Not from the people, Your Honor, thank you.
Ese hari ikindi nabasha kumenya? Oya, murakoze.
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Ntacyo kigihari navuga, murakoze.
Oh, Your Honor, one last thing. Could you possibly extend the interpreter's time by another 15 minutes so that we may meet with Mr. Herrera downstairs?
Absolutely.
Ese wareka ku buryo ki wakongera indi minota hamwe n'umusobanuzi kugira ngo dukomeze kuba turi kumwe mu gihe ndi kuganira na Harerimana? Yego, murakoze.
How many credit days was that?
He gets 14 days credit.
Thank you.
That's all for the record. Nancy, what time did we start this? About 10:30? just need to fill it out in this form. I forgot to write that down.
We started at 10:39.
At 10:39?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Supposed to start at 10. You were supposed to start at 10, you started at 10:39.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Mr. Goodrich, if you could, okay, that's because you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I've authorized this till noon. You're gonna need time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool. All right, this is docket 256041FH, people of the state of Michigan versus Johnny Greenwood III. Counsel, your appearance for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. EP Brett Buxton on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan.
Good morning, Your Honor. Toby White. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Greenwood, and he is, of course, with me at the podium.
Thank you. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth and the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Put your hand down. Sir, you pled guilty to count 2, weapons carrying concealed, punishable by 5 years, and count 3, controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance known as cocaine, less than 25 grams, punishable by 4 years. Do you recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had enough time to speak with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you read the pre-sentence investigation report?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any medication yesterday or today?
No, ma'am.
And are you supposed to be on medication you're not on?
No, ma'am.
Any sign of fever, COVID, or other illness?
No, ma'am.
And you've had enough time to talk with your attorney about all other matters regarding the sentencing that you wish, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. On behalf of the people, any corrections, additions, deletions?
Yes, Your Honor. On the actual sentencing guidelines section of the report, it states that the judge is Honorable Stokes, and so that should obviously be changed to your name. Depending on which copy of the report you received, I think that Judge Stokes is also mentioned in other places in the report. But I have the updated one, and that's the only place where Judge Stokes' name is listed.
Okay, and I'm sorry, where did you see that?
In the actual sentencing guideline
Oh,
portion.
the guideline portion. Oh, yeah. They messed that up, they just did a typo over.
And then in the basic information report, it states that Attorney White is appointed and he is retained.
Okay, fix that in basic information sheet. And then, or on the cover page, and then also on the basic information sheet. I wrote down. It does have it correct in the evaluation plan. It says Toby White was retained. All right. Are there anything else?
It's less of a correction to the report, more just pointing out what's in the report. On the evaluation and plan on page 1, it states DNA is not on file with lead and DNA collection must be completed. So I just asked that a DNA identification order be done by this court.
All right, it may have been done already, but we can hand it to him again.
And nothing else for the body.
Thank you. Any additional corrections? Mr. White?
No, I don't think so. I guess on page 2, I don't know if this happened to the updated one, but they can't spell Jonathan. But that's so minor, I'm not gonna maybe chase it down.
Let's see. Perfect, so.
Yeah.
Gotta get that right. Okay. How about I ask for the guidelines?
Nothing as it relates to the guidelines, Your Honor.
And I have no dispute with the guidelines either.
All right, thank you. On behalf of the people?
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask that you follow the recommendation by probation in this matter. Given that there were both guns and drugs found on the defendant, I do believe that a relapse prevention would be appropriate in this matter. I also believe that cognitive behavioral therapy would also be appropriate given the situation, Your Honor. So
All
I'd
right.
ask that you follow the recommendation.
Have the people seen the certificate of completion?
The people have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. White, what would you like me to know?
Thank you. The 18 months probation, yes. The 60 days jail up front. I don't think that's really where this gentleman should be headed. And for a number of reasons, I've looked at his criminal history and I've looked at what's going on. As a young man, it indicates in the report that he lost his grandfather, who he was very closely related with. And if you correlate that with the dates, that seems to be where he falls off the rails. It should be noted that his father died. His biological father died just a year before that. So he's gone through some trauma. That trauma can lead to behavior like this, which wasn't displayed when he was a young man and family was intact. And so obviously, he's quite angry about those events. He obviously is making some poor choices. To me, the direction to go with him would be, he needs some CBT, cognitive therapy, whatever they're calling, whatever letters they're using now. He needs that. He also needs some grief counseling. He's got to get over this.
He's gonna get it.
Yeah. And also, the reason I would say is to suspend or not give him jail time up front is, this certificate of completion is great. It shows some initiative on his part, but so does his family life. He had a job. He was working at a job. He changed it. Well, why did he change it? Because he got a huge raise. So he went to a different company. And he's just been with them like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So he's got the basis to go forward and to get where the court would like to see him, where his girlfriend would like to see him, where we will all like to see him. And I don't think that if we put him in jail and he loses this job and this momentum, I don't think that's going to be the impact that's going to help him. I think that if he complies with this, and I know that you're going to order those things that I just mentioned, I think that he'll respond to those things. And I think that he'll get over this hump. Because like I said, he had his, fall offs, and then he has another fall off. And, they call it dope for a reason. You make dopey choices, and that's what he did.
Sir, what would you like me to know?
I just want you to know that I've learned from this, learned to regulate my emotions without using these substances. I definitely take full accountability for all of this. I let my family down, let my kids down, let the community down. Got everything going good for me, and now I got this situation going on. But as a man, I accept full accountability. I'm trying to do better. I hung around some people when I was young. I shouldn't have been around. It's not their fault. I hung around older people, got to doing stuff I should have been doing, and been doing it for a long time, to be honest. And I had these kids about 8 years ago. I'm trying to be better, been real better, to be honest. Thing is, I feel like this kind of was a good thing for me. Now I realize I ain't been in trouble in so long. I kind of started doing what I wanted to do again. My kids are good, so now you good. But in all reality, I think this is better for me because it's gonna make me a better person and make me a better father and a better person in the community. That's all, Your Honor.
So you're paying child support for these kids?
I'm paying child support for my oldest. I don't have child support for the other two.
Wow.
I get along great with her. Anything she needs, I give my kids all the time. And if she needs any help or anything, car messes up, she needs help with bills. I make sure her and the kids are okay. Same as the first kid. Her mother was upset with me because we didn't work out. So she put me on child support.
So on the marriage narrative, it says, but not the other two children as it relates to child support. So I'm going to add, now it reads, defendant reported paying child support for Jasmine, but not the other two children. However, does provide support directly.
Thank you.
So tell me, what is, I think it said OME, is that what it said? Yeah, who's that employer?
They're based out of Ohio, They got contracts around the United States at all the Sam's Club and all the Walmarts, the
Okay.
tire centers. We install the 2-post, 4-post lifts,
Okay,
disassemble them, install the air compressors.
okay, so you got a good job with benefits.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right. So I'm gonna put you on probation for 12 months. You shall not use, possess, consume, purchase, or be in the presence of any alcohol, illegal drugs, or drug paraphernalia. If you have the need for any of those things, you'll present a prescription from a licensed medical physician within 24 hours. You'll take all medications as prescribed. As to over-the-counter medications, you can take them as labeled on the bottle. You can take less, but not more. You will be tested, and if you are found to be positive for illegal substances, you'll pay for a secondary test to make sure it's a true positive and not a false positive, and then you'll be referred to substance abuse treatment. We have here a cocaine. Were you using it or just selling it or what?
I was using it.
Okay, so how are you doing now?
Real good.
So when was the last time you used?
It was before New Year's, to be honest. It was after I got in trouble.
Okay, so you've been clean, what, 4 or 5 months?
4 at least.
And how are you doing with that?
Doing better. I mean, I got a good girlfriend and I've been going to church. I've been being better, you know, and she's real good for me and keeps me up.
Would treatment help you or not? You think you need treatment at this point?
I've been solid, to be honest. I haven't been this solid in a long, long time, so I'm kind of.
Okay, so let's suppose you have a bad evening. What do? You turn to drugs?
No, ma'am.
What do?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I sit back and think about my kids, think about my girl, think about my parents, and I'm better than that. I don't got time to be sitting in jail. My kids know I'm in jail. I'm a grown man. I got time for that.
Well, I also don't have time to be laying around in a coffin. The kids need you, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, sir, if you are positive, we're gonna put you in an intensive outpatient, and get an assessment done. Meanwhile, I'm going to order you to counseling. I want a trauma-based therapist to deal with your substance abuse, your grief counseling, and cognitive behavioral. There are therapists who can deal with all of that rather than you going to 3 different places. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So. Now, I assume with your job, you have health insurance. If you can get a doctor to refer you, the health insurance may pay for that. They won't pay for it if I do it because I'm not a doctor. So how you get there is up to you. Whether you go through community mental health or wherever probation wants you to go, or you get a doctor's referral, your insurance covers it. That doesn't matter to me. It might matter to you. I just need you to go through that counseling. It sounds to me like any treating physician would recognize that you need the grief counseling, substance abuse, trauma, and cognitive behavioral. I think most therapists these days have the CBT training, so that's really not an issue, but the rest, there are specialized treatment providers for that. You will pay for the cost of your substance abuse testing and treatment, if any, and secondary testing. You will not adulterate any tests. And if recommended, you will complete relapse prevention, and you certainly will if you are positive for drugs. You'll go through substance abuse treatment and relapse prevention. You'll obey all court orders and recommendations of all treatment providers. You will not engage in any assaultive, abusive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. You will not have verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with anyone housed in the Michigan Department of Corrections or who's on probation or parole. As to that, you don't have to ask everybody if they're on probation or parole, but if you learn of someone you're working with or associated with in some way, then you let probation know, as long as everyone's in good standing, including you, then I'll let you connect with them. Otherwise, no. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. You'll allow probation into your residence at any time for probation supervision without a warrant and submit to a search of your person and property, including but not limited to your vehicle, cell phone, residence, and computer. If probation is reasonable cause to believe you have items that might violate the conditions of your probation. If you are referred to AA, NA, or CA, you will also attend. Regularly provide proof and get a sponsor within 90 days of that. The sponsor must have gotten clean through a program and be clean for 5 years. I'm saying if you're referred because you don't know where you really are in your treatment, seems like 4 months staying away from cocaine is pretty solid, but you know, you're really not free of that till you're clean for 5 years. So if you relapse, you're gonna do everything, AA, NA, CA, sponsor, treatment, relapse, all of that. So you have you can get through this in 12 months, or I can increase it to 36 months or 5 years. Okay, so it's all up to you, sir. It's important that you learn to ask for help. You go to a meeting, you go see a doctor, therapist, you use whatever tools you have rather than using illegal drugs or any other criminal behavior. You have a lot to lose.
Yes, ma'am.
You will pay crime victims assessment, the amount of $130. There are 2 felonies here, so you'll pay a $68 state cost for each, so that's $136 total for those, so that's a total of $266 that you will owe. I'm waiving fines and costs. You already retained your attorney, so that's not an issue. You will not use any object as a weapon, no guns, no ammunition, no imitation of a weapon. If you're in the presence of anyone who has contraband, you just do it about face and leave.
Sorry?
If you are in the presence of anyone who has contraband, you will do it about face and leave. So if you go to someone's house, they have illegal drugs, drug paraphernalia, weapons, ammunition, any of that, you go. Got it?
Correct.
Okay. In the event you lose your job, you'll be part of a work seek program. Okay, and you have a good job, so you will not give them any reason to terminate you. Yeah.
They hired me to cover the Michigan region.
Hmm?
But at the same time, like there was an instance last week and a half ago, they wanted me to go to Ohio to get trained.
I will allow you to do that as long as you give, so you can leave the state for work purposes with a work schedule that you give to probation.
Okay.
So that the problem is, sir, with the interstate compact, I can't just let you go to the other state without permission of the court. So we have agreements between states about how you can travel. So I just need to know where you are so we can locate you. And then you have permission for work as long as we have your work schedule. If you're going on vacation with your kids or whoever, and you want to go out of state, then you'll talk to probation about that. They'll give a slip to me, so I know where you're going, and then I'll give you permission as long as you're in good standing. So the work will do it like that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm gonna write that. And leave state for work with work schedule provided to probation. So talk to probation about that. They'll probably have a fax number to give you, so you can just fax in the schedule, so you don't have any delay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? You have 42 days to appeal and to request call at council. Please hand me some health rights. That's if you want to appeal. So, okay. So what I would do if I were you to get everything in order is today go downstairs and keep your appointment with probation. You'll need to keep all appointments. If for some reason you're sick or out of town or whatever, you need to reschedule with them. You chase them, they don't chase you, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's a lot easier for you to go downstairs now. I know Mr. White knows his way down there and he'll help you do that. Otherwise, you have 24 hours to call them. It's a lot easier to just go down there and do it. All right, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep, sorry, I'm sorry, the jail time was, I forgot the jail time. Sorry, I actually made a note on that. They're recommending, the 60 days, but what I'm gonna do is 365 days with credit for 2 days and the balance is held. I can still use any or all of that time. Okay, you don't do things right, you got it. you're gonna get an Uber share ride and a hotel stay in Mason. So I imagine you're on the right path now, we're not gonna use that time, but just know it's there. If that motivates you to stay clean, it's there.
Yes, ma'am.
We like you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Everything ready right now, I can address that matter.
What about,
Well, we do, but
what about
I was,
contempt?
we can do that. I was
Yeah,
informed by-
we got.
We got it, I'm here. Maybe.
We're talking about Tyler Health. We're calling for trials.
That's my understanding.
Of course, looking for one, we bring up Mr. Howell, we can handle at the very least the contempt sentencing today.
Yeah,
Who we bring up?
sounds good to me.
Mr. Howell.
Yeah. I know. Which mess?
Back, you just get in. Oh, there you go.
I got 2 cents each to cover the food.
What do you need?
I got 2 cents each to cover the. This is the last year.
After the night, they have lunch coming up.
For what?
You've been very patient today, sir. I appreciate that running through it.
So we'll come back at 1.
Sure, 1 o'clock.
Let's come back. I was told that there was nothing else.
Yeah, no.
Same thing.
Okay, yeah, we'll just do it after lunch. What's this? So how? Okay. What happened to major? So we're gonna do 3 sentencings after lunch?
This is probably the one that five of us has is major.
Yeah, I've got Major and
And
Gullich,
Gullich.
you're both up, Your Honor, but
I think Nancy needs to take a break.
I'm good with it, whatever Nancy.
Okay, that's good. What about, so we're doing this one, will take a minute.
Yeah.
Is he up? They're bringing him up, Your Honor. And did you talk to him?
I have, Your Honor, he is accepting the plea, we can set it up for a plea date, because I didn't report it.
Did you get a date?
I have not yet.
No, we can handle the contempt today and then put on, memorialize on the record what the offer is that he wants to take it. We'll go back afterwards, get the plea date.
Yep.
Yeah, we're waiting for him. Go get a date now.
Oh, okay.
That way I'm assured it's done, and we put it on the record.
Understood.
He's coming up. Are you ready to find- Oh, is it this?
Yeah, it's before.
Attorneys with that.
You go to the back?
To give it a new date.
Oh, this is. Should have taken that one.
I guess one of them amended, but the other one.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, but that's a,
Well, I know the other one's 93, but I don't know what this would be.
it's only firearms. Yeah, it's 24,
All right, counsel, your client's here. If you could come up to the podium, please. This is docket 25-5593 FH, 25-5596 FH, 25-5332 FH, 25-4783 FH. People of the state of Michigan versus Tyrone Devontae Howell. Counsel, your appearance for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Adam Pfeiffer on behalf of the people in all files.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Aaron Schroeder on behalf of Mr. Howell, who is standing to my right on all 4 files as well. Thank you.
Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, have you taken any medication yesterday or today?
I took my daily medication.
All right, and does it interfere with your ability to understand me or your attorney?
No, Your Honor.
Is there medication you're supposed to be on that you're not on?
No, Your Honor.
Any sign of fever, COVID, or other illness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and today I understand is a final criminal pretrial conference. I did have a conference with counsel in regard to what the plea offer was, which we can make a record of today. And I understand that's going to then be set for a plea because you are agreeing to take it. On behalf of the people, is that correct? And what is the offer?
That is correct, Your Honor. The offer covers all 4 of the defendant's files. The The offer is for the defendant to plead guilty in file 25-5593 FH to count 3, assault by strangulation, and count 4, domestic violence, third offense notice, and then pleading guilty in file 25-5332 FH to count 2, felonious assault. There is a sentencing agreement that was going to expire today if the defendant did not want to take it, to a fixed minimum of 36 months and for it to be concurrent across both of those cases because they are discretionary consecutive. The people agreed to dismiss the remaining charges, to dismiss file 25-5596 FH and file 25-4783 FH, and not pursue witness interference charges in the first 3 files for contacts that were discovered by my office that were made prior to today's date, April 8th, 2026. And just for the record, the estimated guideline range for these charges without that sentencing agreement is 38 to 76 months.
3876 without the plea deal. What is it with the plea deal estimated?
No, that's with the plea deal.
Oh,
Without the plea deal, they vary from case to case.
Okay.
The biggest one being 58 to 114, but with the amount of discretionary consecutives, it could be anywhere between 62 or 329 months.
All right, thank you. And counsel, you've discussed all of that with your client?
I have, Your Honor, and just for the record, I wanted to also, but we agreed on the, I guess, depart the, an agreement to the 36-month fix, with the idea that in hopefulness of being able to maybe go forward with the, some type of other boot camp if the court so consents to, which the court has indicated it would likely do, is my understanding from our conversation. And I have relayed that to Mr. Howell, but a lot of that would all, again, depend on his behavior between now and sentencing as well.
And once he goes to prison,
yes,
it would be, I don't run the prison, so even if I consent, if he's not behaving, they may say no.
Yes.
Or delay it, so.
And I have relayed those factors to him as well, and he is in agreement. And this plea agreement, as I understand it, and I believe as the prosecutor and the court understand it, should at least legally make him eligible for the programming.
And what was stated is full, fair, accurate, and complete.
It is, Your Honor.
In fact, 36 months, although it's a bit of a downward departure, was done and specifically designed for the eligibility of SAI boot camp in his favor.
Yes.
Sir, is all of that accurate and complete?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and so given that it's your intention to plead, and we're going to set this out a couple of weeks, is that correct?
1 week.
1 week.
Next
Okay.
Wednesday at 9:30.
Yes.
Wednesday at 9:30, so that would be April
15th.
15th. All right, then the remaining, well, let me just ask you this, sir. So you're gonna plead next Wednesday, you got a week.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you decide not to take, this is the final offer. This has been going back and forth, and these cases are getting old. So if you decide on Wednesday to decline the offer, we're gonna set this for trial, because this is a final pretrial conference. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And did anyone force, threaten, or coerce you to enter into this agreement?
No, ma'am.
All right, very good. So we'll talk more about that on Wednesday.
Okay.
At this point, we have the issue because of the multiple letter writing, et cetera, violation of the no contact order, the issue of contempt. We have some people who would like to be heard.
Yes. This defendant has been continuously violating no contact orders. I went back in the files. It started when he was first released on the 2022 cases. We got a PA-53 violation report in 2023. It is continued through to 2026. This court told him on the record, you're gonna sentence him 93 days. And then he refused to come over last time. As I put on the record, pretty clear to the people, it was an attempt to try and avoid that from happening. I'm asking the court to sentence him to 93 days, as he said it was going to. I am going to ask the court that it be a single 93-day sentence, because the court could sentence him for 93 days in each of the 3 files with the no contact orders. But I'm asking it to sentence him to the 93 days, consecutive to what happens in the underlying file.
Response?
Thank you, Your Honor. Understanding that any sentence on a contempt of court finding would automatically be consecutive. I have explained that to Mr. Howell. He understands that any sentence on that conviction, because he did admit it to the court when he was here in January, would result in that. I believe he is remorseful for the just not listening. And he has had to suffer as a result, not being able to have communication with family. Apparently he's had 2 deaths in his family and he's not been able to communicate with them or to have any contact with family other than to find out that there were passings and to be able to provide comfort as well as receive comfort from them. I believe that has made a pretty big impact on him. His behavior, I think, has improved. He has been getting medical care while in the jail for mental health conditions. And as my understanding, he has been complying with CATS. He's been programming over there at the jail. I would note that like as I indicated, his behavior, his attitude, I believe have become much better. And I would ask the court, I understand the prosecutor's request. I'd ask the court to consider a lesser term for him, considering the fact that we are going to be looking into him at least for a little bit once he is sentenced, going into MDOC. And I would like to be able to get him started on that as soon as possible if the court is willing, so that he can benefit from the more rigorous programming, not rigorous, the more varied programming that they have in Michigan Department of Corrections. So I'd ask the court to consider a lesser term than 93 days with that understanding. I'd also ask the court, Mr. Howell has asked me to convey that he understands that he has profoundly violated this court's order, as well as the district courts, and the loss of his family members and not being able to communicate regularly with family regarding that, because he has lost all of his privileges, period. And he now knows that the prosecutor's watching any conversation. Would respectfully ask that potentially the court grant him back some communication with family so that he can at least be provided some support by family members with regard to the loss of members at this time. Thank you.
Sir, what would you like me to know?
Nothing really besides I've just been going through it with death for my cousin and my grandmother.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Sir, if your behavior continues on the path, when you go to prison, they're gonna keep you long after the 36 months. They don't have to release you. Even if I say it's fixed, they're gonna look at your behavior.
Yes, ma'am.
So you gotta straighten up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nothing good comes from violating court orders or the law. End up in that jumpsuit away from your family and loved ones. Did you have something else?
The only thing I'm gonna say is that at no point in the letters that he was sending to the victim from other inmate accounts trying to disguise names did he ask about this. He was only ever focused on making sure this case got dismissed.
All right. Sir, in regard to the contempt, you get 93 days on all the files, but I'm going to run all the files together. So they'll be concurrent, however, it'll be consecutive to whatever sentence I give you on the other file. And is he getting credit on any of these? Because didn't we have the hearing on this? He should get some credit on this.
He would get credit towards 93 days when this started. If I remember correctly, that was at I think it was at the motion hearing for bond is when this all kicked off. So that's December 17th, 2025 is what I have.
Yes.
So he has served his time on the contempt, but the 93 days will effectively be taken out of any jail credit he gets on the underlying file. So it would be full 93 days credit.
Okay. Credit for 93 days. And then we'll figure out how this all calculated.
What file is this on?
I'm giving him all 3 files. We'll have 93 days of credit for 93.
It's every file but 25-4783.
That's the control.
That's the drug case.
25 what?
-4783 FH.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
the drug case. There's no contact order there.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it'd be,
93, 490.
it'd be on 5596, 5332, and
5593.
5593, yeah. Not on 478. Okay, great. Sir, I need you to behave. I will allow you to contact with your immediate family. If it is inappropriate, there'll be more contempt and you will negate the offer.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Do you understand, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I
It
do.
better be appropriate. I better not hear anything negative.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about what that means?
No, you got my word.
Yeah, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else we need to address?
I would just like to, Mr. Howell, we spoke downstairs, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
We spoke downstairs twice, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And when I said I would make this motion regarding your contact with family, I indicated to you that it was just absolutely imperative that you follow it to the letter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you don't, this guy here is gonna be watching you,
Yes, ma'am.
and then all of this is off the table.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you'll just make his day if you violate. So you don't want to do that, do you?
No, ma'am.
Make yourself happy, not the prosecutor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now,
Yeah,
Yes.
nuts and bolts on the credit. He got credit from 12/17/2025 through March 20th, 2026.
March 7th, you said?
March 20th, 2026.
What was the first date? Was that?
12/17/25 to March 20th, 26. That's the 93-day credit.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna be back here. What,
April 15th
April
at
15th.
9:30.
Yes.
April 15th at 9:30? Meanwhile, sir, continuing CATS, cognitive, grief counseling, whatever you're doing over in jail, continue the programming, okay?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
taking your meds, you seem like you're doing better.
I am.
Okay, good. Anything else for the record?
Just that I think I'm gonna be getting a copy of the plea agreement here shortly. I will send him a copy of that by the smart jail mail as well. Thank you, nothing
Okay,
further.
thank you, that's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Send it over so you have it.